Welcome back, one and all. It is I, the Dark One, yet again, here to talk to you about this week's episode of Kamen Rider Saber, Kamen Rider Saber Episode 4. Where's the actual episode title? Episode 4, I Opened the Book, Therefore. I think I might just say the episode titles from here on. Anyway, so a quick synopsis of the events. Following up from the last episode, Toma and friends are trying to figure out how come nobody's back, and if the monster's gone, how come nobody's back. But so it turns out the monster isn't dead; it regenerates. We later find out that it's not a lizard, but it's a salamander, kaijin salamander, based off. I think this is a Japanese story of a salamander who eats enough people to become the king of his kind, and so is trying to gather people to defeat its king. Basically, even though I don't know if a giant salamander king is in the forest with them or not, it could just be it's following out the events of its story. Anyway, the salamander Megiddo, is still in the forest. It regenerated after its defeat by Buster last episode, still in the forest, and we reconvene with Toma and friends at the Source of Logos HQ, where Buster's basically pulling a pitch fit because his kid's not back, which is understandable considering the fact his kid's not back and he loves his child. Anyway, so he blames Toma in a sense because he let Toma watch his son and now his son is gone. So he kind of blames Toma for that. But Toma promises to get his son back because he also made a promise to the kid, to Sora, to teach him the value of books. And so at first, he's dismissive of Toma and yells at him and asking him, why are you... And then Rentar was actually the one asking us, why are you so obsessed with promises? Why are promises so important to you? Toma admits he doesn't know why promises are so important to him, but it's connected to his flashback, his lost memories from 15 years ago. Anyway, interestingly enough, while Buster's still mega peeved, Kento actually walks up to him and asks him to put his faith in Toma. Basically, to basically mend the fences and all that kind of stuff, and gives him the Needle Hedgehog book, which he passes on to Toma later. He basically asked Toma, hey, what did you promise my kid anyway? And he promised him that he would teach him to value books. So this is a very simple episode in all honesty. It's mostly a fight scene, which is fine. Actually, it's two fight scenes because they're going to go into the world of books again, the other world again, to save the group because they know the people are in little cages by the kaijin, and they get attacked by a monster that Caliber unleashes to kill. Basically, Caliber unleashes a monster, Devast, to go kill Toma. Because we later at the end of the episode, it's revealed that he wants the Sword of Flames and the Brave Dragon book for some reason. So he wants the stuff that makes Saber for some reason we don't know. Devast, this really cool designed night monster thing, who's kind of like a higher tier Megiddo, fights Buster, who basically, they switch books. He gives him Needle Hedgehog, and he takes the Jackie the Beanstalk book. And I'm kind of sad because we do see him use the book, and I'm kind of sad that he just puts the book in his sword where he normally would put his Genbu book instead of using any other compartments, which is kind of sad. But still, it's a very cool looking effect, even if the suit change is very minimal on the suit itself. Speaking of, that fight's a really cool fight because it's very much Buster's weakness. Because Buster's a big, heavy blade swordsman. He's all about big strikes, big hits, taking out enemies in one strike. Because that's what he did for both his fights. Last episode, he used his finisher and took out both the enemies in one hit. And Devast is a very speedy fucker. The dude is a fast, jump around, slashing really quickly enemy. So this is a very bad matchup for Buster. But it's really cool. And he actually managed to turn that fight around against him. Also, Devast has another Wonder Ride book the Eagle Wonder Ride book. I don't know what the full name of it is, but he managed to get it back from Devast, who lets him have the win in this case. He's not destroyed. He comes back next episode. He'll come back in the next episode, and he's important. He's more important than a standard Kaijin because he has his own special book. And Caliber, when he unseals them, mentions it's been 11 years since you've last been outside. So he's an important monster. So he'll be back. I kind of want to see him fight Buster again, just because that was a really entertaining fight. So yeah, Buster manages to at least force back Devast for now and get back the Eagle book, which they say that he killed a swordsman to get that book. So I'm wondering, how many swordsmen are there? Are there swordsmen for every book, or are just some books auxiliary? Like, we know the bike books are auxiliary, but are like the standard books that we use as extra transformations, do they originally have knights attached to them, or are they just random books? I kind of want explanations about the Wonder Ride books. But anyway, so with Toma and Rintaro in the other world, they fight against the Salamander Kaijin. But May does something interesting, because May still kind of blames herself for all this mess in the first place, or at least the whole mess about Sora being gone. She finds out she actually has one of the transportation books, the blank books, and opens it and teleports herself into the trap to to find Sora and the others. And she actually pulled a clever move and took fireworks with her to signal Rintaro and Toma so that they know where to go to save the prisoners. Like, it was kind of dumb for her to get herself kidnapped, but at the same time, it was a smart move for her to do something to, help out in this episode. Like, she did help out. Again, I really like her. She's a fun character, and she she's trying her best. She's trying her best. That's all I can say for right now. She's trying her best. So anyway, Sora and Toma and Rintaro fight against the Salamander Kaijin, and it's a cool fight. But unfortunately, even after they manages to kill it the first time, it just regenerates from a piece of its tail, and they don't have a real way to permanently kill it. Toma also uses the Needle Hedgehog book, and then he has an idea. Hey, wait, I have 3 slots on my belt. Hey, Rintaro, can I use 3 books at once? And then he takes the Peter Fantasia book from Rintaro, and we get to see him use Dragon Hedgehog Peter for the first time. And it's a really cool suit. Like, I like it. It's a really cool look. And he fights the Salamander Kaijin. It's a really cool fight. Interestingly enough, while Sora's watching the fight, he's kind of becoming enamored by books because May's tried to explain to him basically the Peter Pan or Peter Fantasia. And he's kind of enamored with it in a fun way. So it's kind of cute. Anyway, so, he fights the Kaijin with the whole 3-part suit. Hit him in a 3-part suit. And uses probably one of the best finishers this series will ever have. Not just in Saber, I mean in all of Kamen Rider. So basically, he does his standard, summoning his the things from the book thing for the finisher. He summons the dragon from the dragon book. We don't see a hedgehog, we just get needles from the needle book. And the fairy from the Peter Fantasia, who, this is a buff-ass Tinkerbell. Like some casting news got out, apparently, and there was going to be this bodybuilder chick in this episode. Everyone was wondering, is this going to be Buster's wife? No, she's Tinkerbell. She's the fairy. She's buff. She's jacked. She's cute. She's amazing. And she fucking lariats the Kaijin, and I love her. She lariats, basically, she charges at the Kaijin, and, the dragon sets her on fire. She lariats it. It says it can't regenerate from this because it's been pinned down by the lariat. And then she explodes in a pile of needles, and that kills the Kaijin. And I kind of love this finisher. Again, this will probably be the best finisher in this series. This is probably ranking pretty highly of some of my best finishers in Kamen Rider. This is just a joke. It's kind of like a joke finisher, but I don't care. I still love it. This probably might be the best finisher in Saber. Anyway, so, that aside, they save Sora. Sora goes back to his dad, who's happy to see him. May goes back. Everyone's happy. Toma and Rintaro are about to head home. Then Caliber shows the fuck up and be like, yo. It doesn't say yo. He just give me the sword and the Wonder Ride book. Because he wants those for some reason we don't know. And then he tries to fight Toma and Rintaro. They're getting their ass kicked. Because, not only are they tired from the previous fight, We also know that using 3 books at once can be exhausting, so Toma's kind of out of it. So they're tired from the previous fight, and Calibur's just better than them. So, Calibur tries to beat them up, and then before he can deliver a finisher, he is delivering a finisher, Espada shows up and blocks the attack. Espada blocks the attack, and then they teleport away back to the regular world, leaving Calibur behind. So Calibur's hella strong, and they need to figure out how to beat him because he's going to be important for next episode, in which we find out that Calibur is also Espada's father. Yeah, so we can actually know about Calibur. Calibur's actor is Mitsuru Karahashi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Who he has appeared in Kamen Rider stuff before, but he's most notable for being Naoya Kaido, aka the Snake Orphanok from Faiz, and I love Kamen Rider Faiz, so it was good to see this actor again, even though he's not playing Naoya. he's joined the League of Evil Fathers because Toei loves the evil father trope. Seriously, every other season, shit. We had evil. It's been only. No, technically built this account. So it's been 3 seasons since X8, where the main villain there was an evil father to technically an evil writer in Gem, but he was an ally at that point. But he's still a father, so you can argue Evolt in a sense for Build, at least for Misara, even though he really wasn't her dad. He was just possessing her dad, but. And then we went 2 seasons without evil fathers. We had an evil brother and Zio. No evil father and Bill and X8. Oh wait, shit. Technically Jin and Hirobi. Hirobi's technically an evil father, although he redeemed himself at the end of the series. Damn, we have had evil relatives in almost every season, haven't we? Although some can be debated. So yeah, we're back to evil fathers. I don't think Calibur's getting a redemption arc, so he's probably going to stay evil. I still don't think he's going to be endgame villain. He's probably going to be taken out midway through the series. But yeah, so Espada is Calibur's kid, and that's going to be a big deal next episode because it's all about Espada and Calibur. Because Calibur's going after Rintaro. He's going after Toma for the book, for the Wonder Ride book, for some reason we don't know. Hopefully that'll be explained next episode. And yeah, that's the episode. So this is a very fight-heavy episode, and I have no problem with that. I actually really enjoy it. It's just a follow-up of the last one, and again, it's a fun time. Both fights are really fun and really good. Again, the Buster fight was really good because it was a clear mismatch. Buster dealing with the speedy opponent, and he did a clever way of finishing him off. He still did his single strike, finishing you off thing. But it was still a fun fight. Again, the fight with the Salamander Megiddo was also pretty good. We got a deeper dive into, well, not a deeper dive. We got a little bit of more about Tomo's personality, how he's obsessed with promises. He doesn't exactly know why he's obsessed with promises. He just is, and it's connected to his traumatic past that he doesn't remember. And he takes promises super seriously, and even Kento knows this. And he tries to get Buster on board, and Buster begins to realize this, and even goes like, a man who keeps his promises, huh? So Buster's been won over by Toma. That's great. Everyone's friends right now. Except for Calibur, who's a dick. So, we have to deal with Calibur next episode, and Devast, this super important Megiddo Kaijin, and also the Eagle Book. Well, we do see that he does use the Eagle Book in the next episode, at least in the previews, and that gets me wondering. In last episode, Rintaro did mention having better compatibility with one book over another book when he used Peter Fantasia. So here's an idea. Would the super we're all thinking that this using 3 books at once is a super form. But what if using the super form is related to the coloring? Because the Eagle Book is red, the Dragon Book is red, Peter Fantasia is blue, the Lion Book is blue. Also, Espada's, his is not really a straight yellow, but it's still yellow. And the Needle Hedgehog Book is yellow. So what if, the super form will be a combo of the 3 colors? Like we have 3 red books, Legendary Beast, Animal, and Story red books, and with the the yellow books and the blue books, and then they use 3 of the same color, and that's the super form. That might be it. I'm still trying to figure out how super forms and like final forms will work in this show so far. Or we'll have an O situation where there really is no final form. It's just the most powerful form, like how O's is. But we'll figure it out. It's still early series. There's little reason to be speculating about like in game stuff so quickly. I just like doing it because I like looking at the belt motifs for the season and figuring out how things are going to go. Again, overall, fight heavy episode. So little on plot, big on fights, mostly character stuff, and a fun time all around. Like Sora learned the value of books, although in a kind of weird way. He didn't actually look at a book. He just knows the rendition. He just knows a rendition of the story, and will give books a try. Thomas went over Buster's support. We got a little bit more for Caliber, who's becoming more active now, which is always good to have our villain like a bit more active than just sitting in the sidelines. We know about some high-tiered Megiddo, because Devos isn't the only one listed. There's also another one who I don't think is one of the main things, because there are 5 super important Megiddo listed, and the next one under Devos is someone called Shimmy, or Shimi. I don't know how to pronounce that yet. So I keep saying so that guy might be important later or in the near future. Like basically they're like sub bosses, and that'll be interesting to see those fights. So yeah, Saber seems to be a really simple series, at least so far. Not a lot of high concepts, just saving people and unlocking new forms and all that kind of stuff. Standard early Kamen Rider stuff. But maybe we'll start mixing things up in the next episode or later down the line. Only the writers know. Eventually we'll know it's the audience, but right now we don't. So yeah, I would have been funny if Caliber was actually a woman, just because the whole Kamen Rider girl curse, where if you're a female you're most likely going to die. Although fucking Valkyrie in 01, she didn't die, but she rarely transformed after a certain point. So maybe that's how she avoided death. So yeah, again, as I stated, fun episode, more fun with these characters, and again, it was a simple episode. So I'll see all of you guys next time. Real quick thoughts on something though. It looks like. Real quick thoughts. I thought about this randomly. We have a night-themed Rider series right now, and last season Super Sentai was night-themed dinosaurs, and I'm like, man, we missed a big opportunity here. I haven't seen an opportunity missed this bad since the Gaimon Ninja thing, or the Tokuger and Drive thing, where it's like, there could be such synchronicity between these two franchises, but they keep making near misses, and it's kind of annoying to keep happening. Although maybe part of Ryu Soldier helped inspire Saber in a way. I don't know, just speculating here. But it seems kind of likely, considering the fact, the last season was Super Sentai. It was a night theme, when now we have nights again in Kamen Rider. Maybe someone who worked on Ryu Soldier or was a big into Ryu Soldier helped bake the designs and pitch the concept for this season. Anyway, did I say that is the end of this episode, minus that little speculation bit at the end, and again, missed opportunities, Toei. So yeah, with all that said, I'll see you all next week for episode 5, which is